I'm making here the color of raw canvas. And I'm going to do this series, rather experimentally in a way that I don't normally, I don't normally talk. I would have normally sworn there, but I don't normally talk while I paint. So I don't know how far I'm going to get with that. And I basically just want to kind of unprime, we'll call it, these paintings. They've been primed as a white, with a white, these canvases, or not paintings yet. They've been primed. So I'm adding some gloss, medium, gel medium, what are we adding here? Gloss medium. It's a medium. And it's gloss. Medium meaning it's serves as a compound to create a different sort of a feel and surface. So I'm going to say that is raw canvas, although I think it should be a little bit browner. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown, rather just called brown. On this bowl, and I've had these canvases around for quite a while. I don't think I've gone too brown. I'm going to sacrifice a kitchen towel to this process. So yeah, I'm now too brown, so I'm going back. Oh, that's gold. Christ, okay. Evidently there's going to be some gold as opposed to raw umber or ochre. So now I'm going to go straight to some, what I'm going to call yellow, but they're going to call something else, no doubt. Because I'm going in the wrong-ish direction for this raw canvas. If you can remember a point in your life where you've encountered raw, unprimed canvas. Thinking that's pretty much, yeah, that's going to be our raw canvas. And really this is just getting a layer to dry. In many cases, paintings that we see reproduced in fancy art books, or now we look at them online and we see this kind of warm color coming through. Well, we think it's an added color. We think of it as that it's been painted in. But more often than not, what you're seeing is the color of raw canvas. So rather than painting onto this white primed canvas, that's why I called it unpriming it. I'm going back to this raw canvas. Now, this is all very, it looks impulsive, spontaneous. It is not. I spend a lot of time deliberating, thinking, planning, conjuring, you know, not formally, but while I'm doing other things. And then I begin with the, what do you call it, procrastination and deliberation. much more so than I am likely to suffer in other art forms, such as writing, which I seem to be able to get right down to. No hint of writer's block. But with the painting, I put it off. I seem to, I put it down to, because I've been subjected to painting my entire life, and I've lived with artists, painters in my childhood. My parents, let's say, let's just come right out with it. They were painters. They were kind of fussy, a little bit finicky, opinionated, volatile, vociferous. All of these things I think are good, you know. I don't think these are negatives. But this is the type of thing that I now have to kind of get over myself a little bit, as they say, and get on with the painting process. And so here we are. I would say we're in. I'm in. I put those canvases out to dry on the balcony there. And I have a little bit of this canvasy colored paint left over, which I'm going to turn into a winter sky. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go with painting in this sort of production line method, but so far I'm thinking I want to add the sky, and then I'll see what I think. These are still a little bit sticky around the edges. I want to get in here, brush a bit wet, moisture on. Rainy in there, and basically I want it to look painted. I'm just going for actually even be quite a bit thicker, but since it isn't, that's what it is. Now, I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't done a lot of other things in life first. And in a way, I feel like it is contrived. I want this. I'm thinking about where this canvas is showing through, and I'm beginning to think that that's not really right. That is what's happening. So that was my intention, and that's what I'm going with. Unfortunately, a bit of unblended material down the bottom here, or I'm using the side of the brush that's got a little bit too much white on it, so I'm going to try and dissipate some of that. Actually, I'm going to use another brush. I'm not sure where these kind of... That one's got a nice little bit of painterly action through it, so that's a good thing. Maybe this is okay. Maybe this is... To me, it's definitely sky. It's not paint. No, that's not true. Now this one, because it doesn't have a whole lot going for it, really, it's pretty much a solid, fairly solid piece of sky. So I'm going to hose that down with a spray bottle, and in a moment I'm going to try to pull off some of that paint with a brush, with a dry brush. See if I can get a kind of a reaction from that medium that I put in there. This should be just somewhat thicker as a substance for me to get the real painterly quality that I'm looking for. It's also bloody small to be looking at this range. Now imagine my mountain is going to cut into some of the sky, because I'm aiming for sea, mountain, and sky. And in fact, so the sky may not actually be this prevalent. So here's my dry angled brush that I'm going to try to pull off some of the... no, that didn't really work. Definitely a nice effect. Regardless, that's nice up along the top there. And in fact, it is washing off some of that color. And here I'm getting a nice sort of draining down into this area that I may well use and replicate elsewhere. This one is really pretty perfect, so I better try and mess with that. So that's what I do here. Things look good, so you want to get in there and wrap them up a bit. Really just doing anything to the bottom here just to prevent it from dripping. Okay, one more. Whoops, what's happening here? Just getting out a little bit too much. I kind of wrecked that thing there that I was doing. Just draining out in the center that I liked. And then remember my just saying that, yeah, that's sometimes what happens. Ruining the thing. But in this case, I don't think that I have. So some nice things happening in there very subtly. Keeping in mind, too, that horizons are typically lighter. Oh, that's interesting. I just splattered onto that one. Lighter on the bottom. So the land, you get, the land is going to go in here. I think I want to straighten out this horizon a little bit, get a little more paint on here. Likewise over here. This is the toxic material flowing out of the coal mine, specifically Raven Coal Mine on Vancouver Island. These are paintings Martin Lewis did. They were a destruction of his traditional watercolor paintings in order to impress a young woman, a political activist who was opposed to the coal mine, the Raven Coal Mine on Vancouver Island.